Hello, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. And if you've been with me since January of 2023, you will know that Embracing the Fight is about normalizing the conversation surrounding physical and mental health issues and concerns. Now, why is that important? Think about it. If somebody just walked up to you today and says, hey, I'm having a rough time. I'm about to have my leg cut off because I've been dealing with diabetes. It's like, what kind of conversation is that? What do you say, to someone who's dealing with something like that? Or what could you have said to help them avoid it? So Embracing the Fight is designed to help have those conversations so you don't end up with these things happening for generations and generations and generations. We want to nip it in the bud. So if it's possible, I need you to take a moment to subscribe, click like, click share, and comment on any of the episodes that you see, because they're going to be there forever. Hopefully, as long as YouTube is out, it'll be there. But I think it's very important that we share these messages so we can heal one life, one voice, one person at a time. All right. If you want to be on Embracing the Fight and you're brave, and you want to talk about something that is currently in your life that needs to be voiced, just send me an email to operations@diversitydesign.com. So now that I've gotten the business of everything out of the way, you all see that I have a very handsome man on the screen with me today. You see him smiling? Smiles like I smile. Anyway, you see him on the screen. I'm going to allow him this moment first to introduce himself, and then we'll jump right into episode 89, Old Arthur. All right. So first, who are you?
I am Russell McKoy Jr., and I'm excited to be here today.
Okay. So I'm sure everybody who watches Embracing Fight knows that I either met the person by chance or I've known them forever. He's not from Macon, y'all. He's from somewhere else, and I'm going to let him tell you where he's from and how we met. So, Russ, where are you from and how we meet?
I am in Charlotte, North Carolina, and you and I met at a tennis tournament actually a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was called the 40 Love Tournament, and I was there with my little stand and my table, spreading the good news about your health being your greatest wealth. In the morning at the start of the tournament, I met Miss Erica there, and I asked her to come on over to my table. I told her I had an energy recovery shot for her before she starts her match. And, she was a little hesitant because she didn't want to take anything prior to her match and it make her do something crazy, right? Because she wasn't aware of what it would do. But I was, which is why I urged her to do so. And so she eventually came back and tried the supplement. And then she played her match. She came back and told me how she felt. She felt better. She was doing great. So guess what I did? The next day, I asked her to come on back, get another shot. Mm-hmm. She did so. And she just talked about how good it made her feel with her recovery and how she still had energy throughout the day after playing match after match. And, she was kicking butt out there, so I was excited for her to see the almost instant results from the shot. And that's how we met. And the rest is history.
Look, I'll say I was not kicking butt out there. I was dragging. I wish I had this, the shots prior to, like maybe a week or two before, it'd have been a totally different, outcome, I think. But anyway, the reason I was hesitant, y'all, is because when you see a big bottle on the table that says detox and balance, that means something's gonna be cleaned out so your life can be balanced. I can't have that happening on the tennis court. But anyway, I went ahead and tried it, like you said, and it has been working wonders for me. And if you want to know more about Love Biome, then you can either reach out to Russell and I'll allow him to give his information at the end of the show, or you can reach out to me and you can comment. You can say whatever you want to say, and I'll make sure it gets to him or it comes to me or, however that works out. Anyway, back to episode 89, Old Arthur. So why do you want to call this episode Old Arthur?
because I had been dealing with old Arthur for about a decade.
Really?
A decade. And it stemmed from being a tennis player for over 25, almost 25 years. And, I didn't just play like the average person. I ran around on the tennis court like a wild man. So it kind of took a toll.
Okay.
When I was in my 20s, you don't feel any pain. You feel invincible, and it's just like you're out there for 10 hours in a day. And then you go home and you get up and you do it again, especially during the summer. And so I ate, slept, and I breathed tennis. And that's what I did, especially in the summer when I didn't have anything else to do. Okay. But as time went on, so did my joints.
I can attest to that. Goodness gracious.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I'm going to tell you, the last decade of my life is when it all started for me. And each year it got a little worse and worse. I'm talking about inflammation, swelling, nasty joint pain where I couldn't get up and move and change directions like I normally would. And it got so bad by about the 10th year of dealing with it, I had to stop. Like I had to quit. And I played competitive tennis for at least, it was the last 10, 15 years. When I graduated college, I played a lot of USTA league, right?
Did you play in college too?
I did play a little in college. I started in high school. I went to a school that will allow me to play, but I didn't really get good until after college.
Okay.
And so I just was obsessed with it. Got better and better. I had a team of friends and we just win all the time. And so it was my life, and that 10th year I was playing, I remember it all. I was playing a league match. And in the second set, my joints just literally gave out. And all I could tell myself was, if the ball comes to you, hit it as hard as you can. Because you can't move. Playing doubles. And so that's what I did. And we barely won that match.
Oh, wow.
But I walked off the court crying, not because I was in pain, but because I knew it was going to be my last time playing.
Oh, wow.
A grown man, think about it. I was 30 years old at the time, crying because I just realized that what felt to be my whole life was just taken away from me like that,
Right.
And I didn't play league or tennis for another 2.5 years.
Okay.
And it's so crazy.
Let's sit there for a moment. You know how as we age, we start seeing things that we can't do anymore. And I know you said you were, crying because you saw this part of your life ending. What does that do to you mentally? Are you sitting there saying, I can't do this, so I might as well just sit at home and do nothing? I mean, what iterations did you go through in your mind as you were leaving the court?
It's like your whole self-worth, what you felt like you were here, what you were meant to do. You know what I mean? Everything, like the most important part of you is taken. And it's like, I can also compare it to when I would lose a match. If I lose a match, I felt like the whole world ended. Like I wasn't worth, what was I worth? If I lost a tennis match. And it was that feeling times 10.
Okay.
Because it was the death of the thing that meant so much to me, probably more important than anything else, which is crazy. But, when you get to that point, life goes on. And a lot of times we make adjustments and we move forward the best way we can, even though it's tough. The adjustment is very hard.
Okay. Well,
grieving that.
Did you seek a physician's advice? or a mental therapist or anyone? Did you say, okay, I'm gonna see if I can have surgery to correct this, or did you just say I'm gonna talk to, a mental health therapist to see how I can get through this?
Honestly, I did not. But the one thing I did do
Mm-hmm.
is I confided in my parents. My father is a pastor,
Mm-hmm.
and I was raised in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would always, when I go through something in life, my dad was the person I went to. He's like the greatest role model, and he always knows what to say, when to say it. And he really reminded me of why God placed me here. It's not, tennis is great.
Yeah.
It's something that you're good at, but that's not God's call for your life. And he prophesied over me, actually. And he told me, you're going to write a book called Trailer to Treasure.
Okay.
And that stemmed from me as a child being in the trailer, because being learning disabled, um, ADD, ADHD, OCD, some Tourette's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was life as a child was brutal. And so not only did I endure not understanding and comprehension issues as well, but I had to deal with the people, kids teasing me and ostracizing me and just being singled out. And I remember that place in the trailer. But in the worst part of your life, in the most difficult time, in the ugliest part of your life, God can bring you up.
Yes, he will. Yes.
And make that one thing the most beautiful thing about you. Like the ugly duckling into a swan. Mm-hmm. So I poured my attention into that portion of my life. Mm-hmm. And being inspirational, being an inspiration to others.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that is so good that you just brought it, home for me, because I knew it had to be something, but I wasn't exactly sure what it was, because usually people pour themselves into something that they find themselves to be really, really, really good in because of something that hurt them in the past that they didn't think they were a part of, or where they, felt like they didn't belong. And with tennis brings family. It brings, togetherness. And if you were ostracized as a child and now you see yourself about to lose tennis, you felt like you were going back to that place where you were when you were a child in that trailer, and your dad brought it home for you. I love it. I love it. All right. So at that point, though, when you finished your conversation, with your dad, and you decided, okay, well, no supplements, no surgery, and nothing's going to help this. I'm just going to go ahead and do something different. What did you do?
So it's so funny because I started also thinking about ways to get healthier. Mm-hmm. And I started taking some products with a company that had just come out, mm-hmm. Along with what I was doing with what my dad was telling me, inspiring me to do. Mm-hmm. And the company was called Tava. Mm-hmm. And I started to see a little bit of relief with that, but nothing real permanent. Mm-hmm. So I went on and I ended up getting a tennis job, which made it even worse. I was a tennis pro. I was teaching, and I poured more into teaching. I developed a love to teach, And so with that, I was introduced by a friend of my parents. Mm-hmm. And this young lady, she came to my dad about something she was doing for better health. But my dad was like, well, no, it's not for me because I'm supporting my son in what he's doing. And he said, you're going to have to talk to my son if. So my dad gave her my number. She called me and she asked me, she said, are you familiar with the gut microbiome? I was like, no. And she said, what are you doing currently, like for health? And I told her, I'm a part of this company. She said, I want you to take a serious look at this. Mm-hmm. Within 5 minutes, mm-hmm. when she told me that the gut microbiome was the root to all disease and the root to better health, and that the other thing was, she told me, she said, vitamins, pills, and supplements. We're a pill popping society. We pop pills for everything, but they only mask the problem.
Right.
We've been conditioned to treat symptoms, but what about addressing the root? When she told me, I said, okay, I'm so. I left my company that day and I got involved with this. And just history. Like the rest was history. And so I got started with the product. And within the first month, when I tell you, within the first month, my joint pain was completely gone. I noticed over time it started getting better. And it's like, is this real? I don't know. I just, you know how you just kind of second guess. And then you also feel like, well, something you do, it works, but it's like, it's only a matter of time till it wears off. 2 years later, and I'm telling you, my joint pain, inflammation, swelling, all of it is gone. And guess what? I started back playing league this year all over again. And my team, we're 5-0, baby. Let's go. We doing it, dog. So, and after a match, I don't have to hobble to my car and try to brace myself to get in the car and hobble back in the house and ice my knee and go to bed and be woken up. My knees are swollen and I'm getting all this pain and all this stuff. That was my life for years. And I don't have none of it anymore because I addressed the one thing.
And you know why I'm laughing? Because I was dealing with the exact same thing. I was like, I cannot play and not get in the car and just be in excruciating pain. And I was so glad I stopped by, your table in Charlotte, because I had the same testimony now. Like, I don't have the pain, I don't have the swelling. And I'm just about 3.5 weeks in using it consistently. So yeah, I might start acting bad later, get out and dance, that sort of thing. Because all that kind of slowed down, when your knees, won't let you get on the dance floor, it's pretty rough.
It's rough.
But now you're back to playing. Did you ever have any X-rays or any MRIs of your knees?
And I'm embarrassed because as a guy, and there's a statistic about this, we don't go to the doctor and we don't get help. We don't. And it's bad. It's really bad. And so, no, I didn't do nothing. I didn't go see a psychiatrist. I didn't go see a doctor. I didn't go see nobody. I just dealt with it. You know what I mean? But I learned that I have to do better. And your body always has a way of telling you when something's right or wrong. And it's up to us to listen. And when you don't, there can be some life-altering consequences.
Right.
For that. So thank God I was given a second chance. But because I was given a second chance, that gives me the opportunity to do things right. So the next time, God forbid, something happens to my body and my body speaking to me, I better go get it checked out because it may not be the way that it went this time. I was fortunate.
Right. Okay. So I'm just curious. Have you been talking with other people that say maybe have stopped playing tennis and encourage them to reset their gut as well so they can potentially experience the results that you've experienced?
Absolutely. I'm so vested in this that I retired from corporate 2 months ago. And this is my full-time gig. And I spread the word to every tennis player, every athlete that I can, or just anyone. A young lady that I went to school with, I remember her mom, she had difficult times walking. She couldn't walk. It was hard for her to walk. She would hobble everywhere she went. And she was supposed to have a total knee replacement. But after getting on this, no knee replacement needed. Her pain is completely gone. And everybody that knows her is trying to figure out how she was able to do it. So yes, that's my mission, telling all my friends, all the tennis players, getting more people involved and hearing their stories and testimonies. Even my teammates, they're on it. some of my teammates are on it, and just to hear their stories is just amazing.
Okay, so how is your health overall now?
My health overall, let me tell you, I feel like I'm 20 years old again.
Oh yeah.
You know, I I have no health issues. This addressing my microbiome has helped me with my natural circadian rhythm. I wake up without an alarm clock every single morning. Of course, the joint pain,
Mm-hmm.
my bloating issues, or any digestive issues that I might have had, gone. Regularity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eliminating at least 2 times a day, when before it was 2 to 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad,
Yeah.
right? So now I'm regular, because that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
People walk around with a decade and more worth of toxins and pollutants and waste trapped in the gut,
Mm-hmm.
not even understanding. I've lost over 20 pounds just on this gut system, and so, and a host of other things help with my cognitive function and mental and mood,
Mm-hmm.
energy, like nobody's business,
Mm-hmm.
sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I dream every single night. I mean, skin. If you saw my skin prior to me getting started with this,
Mm-hmm.
you would not believe it. I'm not saying that my skin is flawless now, but it is far better than it was ever before.
Right.
And your skin is a microbiome.
Mm-hmm.
So it addresses the skin, it addresses the gut, it addresses every aspect, your mental health, every aspect of your health.
Okay, so you always hear people saying that you can't out exercise a bad diet, which is true. And you lost 25 pounds, and you did it all, by resetting your gut, by taking care of your microbiome. So, can you still just eat whatever you want and still get the same results because you're taking, this product, or do you have to eat right too?
So what I always tell people is, don't necessarily, when you're coming in, because people always say, oh, do I have to change my diet? No, just get on the gut system first and foremost. Allow the gut system get in your system. And what it's going to begin to do is change your food cravings, because yes, it is important that you begin to crave foods that you need, right? But understand that most important, think about it. You started out eating in patterns,
Mm-hmm.
things that didn't give your gut what it needed to thrive, the nutrients and all that, the fiber and all that stuff, the phytonutrients. And then when you start infusing the body with 96 ingredients, fruits and vegetables, plants,
Mm-hmm.
regardless what you was eating before, you're now fueling the gut, and it's now starting to operate how it's supposed to, because it's about fueling the gut, the center of health. And so then as you begin to do that, you're going to notice a change in your appetite, in your food cravings, in your metabolism. It's going to naturally happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to start to kick in. My father, he's lost 39 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
70 years old, all just by
Yeah.
starting this journey.
And it's so tough, once I'll say for me, because once I hit 40, it was like I could run 2 miles, eat salad, go home, weigh myself the next day. I done gained 2 pounds. It's like, how does it even work?
Has
It's only going the other way. And here your dad is 7 years old, losing weight like it's nothing. And if if I can get him on the show, y'all, he's an amazing person too. And he has amazing testimony as well. But it just shows you that there's something out there that can help you regardless of your age, gender, anything. It's all about resetting your gut, resetting your microbiome. And with you doing that, you're able to play tennis, you're able to do all the things that you love. You're not finding yourself sick. You're not finding yourself, just sitting around going, well, what was I thinking? What was I supposed to say? What did I go downstairs to get? Because,
Yeah.
I'll admit I do that sometimes now, but it's getting less and less. So I feel like the more that I take it, that the better results I'll continue to get. Now, we've just kind of been talking around it. So can you tell us about the company, that you work for and what you are looking to do with this company.
Yes. So Love Biome is a company that is the largest microbiome company in the world, the most innovative one. And we have started the era of microbiome. Many people haven't heard of it, but it's starting to learn about it. And so when I think about our company, I think about Apple 1984, because that's literally what's about to happen. With owners that have done this before, they started with Tahitian Noni International with that noni fruit. And then they then developed Love Biome. And all they did was added 95 other plants to the noni, because noni only rid cancer, help people with diabetes and hypertension. But now they added these other fruits, exotic fruits and vegetables that have come together. They flew all over the world and found them from blue zone countries where people are living 100 plus years as a norm. Put them in bottle in a powder form, and it's going to address every area of your health, because each fruit and vegetable in our system has a richness in gut bacteria diversity for the body. And so when taking it, 1 ounce of the next balance, 1 ounce of the next detox, 8 ounces of the Phyto Power packet, the balance gives you the good bacteria. The detox extracts the bad and cleanses you down to the cellular level. And the Phyto Power repairs your gut against leaky gut syndrome, which is where all sickness and disease begins. And so those 3 things every single day. I'm not making medical claims, but I'm just telling you what's happening for all of us. We got so many people getting off medications, so many people losing weight, so many people killing the cancer cells. So many people, we have children that were nonverbal autism are now speaking, never spoke before in their life, and are now speaking. We're helping people, cancer, diabetes, high blood, every area of your health, because your gut controls what? All your systems, your lymphatic system, your circulatory system, your nervous system, your digestive system. And our motto is simple: change one thing, change everything. Who doesn't want to do that?
Right. So, I mean, you make it sound so good. How do we get it?
So, actually, my good friend and now partner for the last 3 weeks, she has partnered with me on this health and wealth journey. And she has a website that I will, when you contact me, I will get you started. Okay. And give us your website.
It's ericalamar.lovebiome.com.
ericalamar.lovebiome.com. And so anytime you reach out to me, you can reach out to me by phone, 804-986-8216, or you can reach out to me through email, mckoyr13@gmail.com, and I will gladly get you started.
Okay. Well, is there any advice that you would give to someone who's suffering from arthritis, who's thinking about giving up something they love because of the pain that they're experiencing?
The advice I give you is the same advice I would have given myself. You know, when it comes to arthritis or what you're dealing with, pay attention to your body and make sure you understand the importance of your center of health. Lastly, you know, we take a lot of remedies. We run to a lot of pills, but understand when it comes to your health, the root is your gut. Okay. And then for those of you that had to make an alteration in life, you know, something that you felt passionate about, something that you felt like you were here to do, and it was just stripped from you. Understand that God has a purpose for you, and that sometimes he has to take something out of your front view so that he can help you to see what you're actually designed to do. Okay. And what he's going to do in your life, because each part of our life is a stage. And sometimes certain things have to die in order for us to birth what's supposed to be in our life in that particular moment, in that time. So I would tell you to listen and follow your gut. Okay, go with that gut, because that's the most important part of you. And guess what? When you address the matters of your gut, then you can think clearly.
Yes.
And you have vision, okay, and direction, understanding that it all starts in that place. So the wonderful thing about what we offer is that it's all connected. Mm-hmm. Okay. Be encouraged, keep your head up, stay positive, and always understand that through every trial, there is an opportunity. Okay. So that's what I'll say.
Okay, that almost sounds like the forward to what, trailer to the treasure. Have you started writing your book?
I haven't started the book yet, but I have designed a website called Trailer to Treasure, and I have designed a Facebook page.
Okay, is it Trailer to Treasure, the number 2 treasure, or is it Trailer TO Treasure?
Trailer the number 2 treasure. Trailer to Treasure. Yes.
Okay, so y'all heard that. If you want to, join his Facebook page, or if you want to check out his website, it is Trailer the number 2 and Treasure. All right. So is there anything else, any other nuggets you want to drop before we get off of this episode 89, Old Arthur?
Old Arthur. Well, I would want to say this. I would like to say this. Okay. If you have not played tennis, you have been missing out. I want you to get on the tennis court. It is an amazing form of exercise. For those of you that don't want to be on the treadmill, just running like a little rat, it's just amazing. It comes everything. Look, I'm telling you, because that's the one thing I get when I started teaching so many people. When they started, they're like, oh my God, I love this form of exercise so much better. I used to be upstairs in the gym, just running or lifting weights or doing this and doing that. And it's just no comparison, because you get every part of your body moving, and there's a goal when you're doing it. So it's a lot of fun. I still, even though I left my job in corporate, I'm still connected to tennis, and I still teach on my own time, and I enjoy it. So get out there, hit the tennis court. If you are in the Charlotte area, come on over and see me. Hit me up. My number is 804-986-8216. All right. I want you to be blessed. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be well, and understand that you can change one thing and it will change everything about you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Russell McKoy Jr., for coming on today and dropping so many nuggets and being so transparent about what you were going through. I truly appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. And everyone who's watching, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to look at this episode 89, Old Arthur, featuring Mr. Russell McKoy Jr. And I, as always, want you to have an absolutely amazing day.